Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to my NXT review, the go-home show before next week. NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver two-night event next week, so this is the go-home show, as there's a lot jam-packed to see what's going to go down next week. We already know most of the full card, maybe one or two matches, coming in and whatnot, but basically this is the go-home, and it's a jam-packed show. Kicking it off with Roderick Strong to go against Cameron Grimes, which, Cameron Grimes, talk about buying all the IPs to the Undisputed Era, and even made his own thing called Grimes to the System, okay? The Grime Disputed Era and whatnot, which pissed off Roderick Strong then as they had a match. Not bad, but I guess Roderick Strong kind of somewhat became conflicted then, because I guess he picked up the Undisputed Era armband. I don't know where that armband, I think it was when Grimes had it, but he picked up the armband and kind of basically looked at it then. He was conflicted on what to do, and then out of nowhere, Cameron Grimes hit him with the cave-in for the win. So, Strong still kind of somewhat trying to be somewhat still of the Undisputed Era, even though it's no more Undisputed Era anyways. Don't know what happened to Bobby Fish, but, yeah, he's just kind of really conflicted on what's going on right now. So, will he be involved in Cole versus O'Reilly? I see that happening a lot. They showed a video cross training, getting ready for his match with Balor, and that the Prince would be dethroned to TakeOver. There was a lot of video package promos. Walter had one. I'm going to talk about the NXT move in a second, but Legado del Fantasma was out there talk about Jordan Devlin and this whole ladder match coming out, and that Escobar represents 100 years of Lucha Libre tradition. He has an open challenge for anybody that wants a piece of him. Basically, Tyler Breeze came out, one challenge then, because, he's been on NXT a long time, so he wanted a shot. Good match, I should say. Phantom Driver on to Tyler Breeze for the win. Basically, Legado del Fantasma ended up attacking Tyler Breeze right after them. Wow, I'm messing my words here tonight, but he attacked him right after. MSK came for the save, but next you know, Zach Gibson and James Drake showed up, basically talking about their opponents to take over as the tag team titles were going to be on the line, and that they will be soon to be recognized. So like I said, it's a lot of final hype before TakeOver next week. What else? Gargano and crew were in the back talking about the whole gauntlet match going on, who should win. Austin Theory says, I'm going to win, and then we could do the finger poke of doom like it was WCW, and Gargano said, hey, man, that killed the business. You can't do that. That was actually pretty funny. That killed the business. Finger poke of doom. Not lying in a way, though. Next, though, what was after that? The Way, Indy Hartwell and Candice Ray went against Gigi Dolan and what's her name? Zyda Rayner. Basically a quick match as they are going for the NXT Women's Championships at TakeOver, calling out Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. They came out with the tank and everything, saying like, you guys are not going to take the titles. You're out of your damn mind. And then they shot the ball or whatever at them for the tank. Tonight, we got a dog running almost every part of the show. A little tiny dog, a little corgi. Well, no, I don't think it was a corgi, but a little random tiny dog running to the Performance Center and, all across all over the whole Performance Center. And I know who it is exactly. I'm going to get to that in a second, but I know who exactly that is, and I'm most likely going to be right when I somewhat bring up their name, even though she's got a name change, I believe, already. But I know what that tiny dog represents. Next, though, Roderick Strong was leaving saying he's done, which he's supposed to be in the main event tonight, but he said he's done. He's just done with it all. Raquel Gonzalez went against Zoe Stark before she even came out. Io came up to her saying, like, you can't kill me. Raquel beat her up before getting to her match. Basically a good little match with Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark, which they're giving a lot of TV time to, let me say that. She's not bad, though, but they must believe in her some type of way if they're giving her this much type of TV time and whatnot. But as Raquel won, Io came to the ring then and attacked Gonzalez, but Gonzalez basically tossed her around the plexiglass again, just knocking down Io, so this isn't the last we see of that tonight. Next, they had the Prime Target video for Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole. A very fantastic video package. I recommend checking that out. So, very fantastic, cool-looking video package. Next, Zia Lee and Tien Sha went against Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. Basically, Kaden Carter tried to walk up on Tang Shin, Tien Sha, Tien Sha. Yeah, I think I said it right. And basically, she got hit with sleep. No, she got basically choked out like this, and then like this, like powder or sleep gas, or I don't even know what that was. Right after that, Zealy hit a big, deadly-looking spinning heel kick on Casey and won the match. So, yeah, I don't know what that was, but she choked her out and threw some sleep dust at her, and she was dead, apparently, okay? She was dead. Now, the person who I believe this tiny dog is running all over the place, which said sign Frankie and will be appearing on April 13th, I honestly believe it is Taya Valkyrie. And I know that because Taya always carried a little tiny dog with her, mostly an Impact during her time. Maybe a little bit of Lucha Underground too, but this tells me Taya is going to be showing up here very, very, very soon. I honestly believe that, okay? So Taya, expect her to show up. We already know Taya is signed, but I think she's maybe, obviously they must have changed her name now to Frankie, I guess. I'm just taking a guess here, folks, but that little tiny dog, that already tells me it's Taya coming. Tommaso Ciampa cut a promo, probably one of the best promos of the night. Talking about all the surgery, saying he's not the same champ anymore. You're not 2018 champ and everything. And he said Walter's right. He has changed, but he's changed for the better. He has something to fight for. That necklace he has, I guess that's, about his daughter and everything. But he talked about all the names that have supported him. He loves chasing the dragon and, climbing the mountain. And he's going to chop his head off, Walter there. Because when you get to the top of the mountain, you're gonna feel it's gonna be a long way down to fall off, okay? And now that he has something to fight for and everything, that the Psycho Killer, the Blackheart, is gonna be back at TakeOver. And he told Walter it's gonna be a long fall down from that mountain, so buckle up. Fantastic promo by Ciampa. That was great. We got a Balor training video. In the main event, we got the 11-man Battle Royale, which I had to understand the rules for a second, to qualify for this Eliminator match at TakeOver next week. It did end up with Swerve coming out getting attacked by Leon Ruff, but the rest of the competitors are out there, which Dexter Lumis stood there the whole time. No one touched him. It was 11 men, so Strong was not there, so they all just stood there. Everybody just fought each other, and Lumis just stood there. Just stood. No one didn't touch him, by the way, too. No one tried, not once anyone tried to touch him till the end. Basically, who was out first? It was like Tyler Rustin, what's his name there? Jake Atlas, Austin Theory. That was funny. He got caught in the second rope, but then, he thought he could, kind of wiggle his way around like a turtle, but then he kipped up, and then he was eliminated then. Kushida and Pete Dunne end up getting eliminated as Kushida held in the hoverboard lock on him, not letting him go. Next, I guess we were somewhere near the final 6, so Bronson Reed there, he ended up lifting both of what was it? Both of Leon Ruff and Swerve out the ring, so they're going to be the first 2 competitors in the gauntlet match next week. Reed was eliminated next. After that, I guess helped, from Dexter Lumis, who helped Eli Drake and Cameron Grimes eliminate him. Next thing you know, Grimes tried to use his money to pay him off and whatnot, bribing them, but they ended up throwing him out then. And then Eli Drake looked at freaking Lumis then right after, and ended up getting eliminated, him going through the second rope and pulling Lumis's feet down, which he will be the final competitor in there then after that. So next week, those are the 6 people that are going to be involved in that whole gauntlet match as he mouthed off to Johnny Gargano. Io Shirai, who was still alive, even getting thrown through a wall. I guess no killing this girl for some reason. Basically, she came out. She started yelling in Japanese. Gonzalez came out and attacked then. They brawled. The rest of the NXT women's roster came out. I have no idea who half those people were, but they were basically cannon fodder, getting beat up, and Io did this big freaking dive from the inside of the ring, springboarding, landing on everybody to close the show. Honestly, I'm almost surprised they even main eventing the show next week for TakeOver Night 1. And I'll sit here and tell you this, and my co-host can vouch for me. I agree with him. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly should be the main event of TakeOver 1, not the co-main event of TakeOver 2. The NXT title can be the main event, no doubt about that. But even I'm saying, like, really, you're gonna put the women's match in the main event of night one. Not saying it'll be a bad match or anything, but given the intensity and the hype behind Cole and O'Reilly, which I think is gonna be a fantastic match, even I'll sit there and say that should be night one main event of the show. So I don't know what's going on with that. Now, it's one last thing I do want to talk about, though, before I go, other than the hype for TakeOver next week, which obviously everybody got to watch that show first. Obviously, we all know NXT is moving to Tuesdays on April the 13th, and I got a couple things to say about this, okay? The reason why they're being moved is because of hockey and NBC sports kind of going down. So it's a business decision why NXT is moving to Tuesday nights. Some will sit there and tell you that, well, AEW won, the Super AEW marks are going to get the little victory lap saying we beat NXT and whatnot. But let's be honest, though. Did they really beat them? Well, they win ratings-wise, yes, but they didn't make them move to a different night. It was a business decision to why NXT had to move, okay? It's hockey. And I look at this little Wednesday Night War thing. Even I'll sit there and tell myself this. It wasn't much of a war. It wasn't a battle. It wasn't a skirmish. It was a tussle, okay? It's not like the Monday Night Wars from back then. And I'll admit, I was a little bit hyped for it, too, and I said it was a war also. So I'm not going to sit here and deny that. But you look at the viewership to both of these shows could barely crack 1 million, okay? And they only did a couple times. And even when AEW won a lot in their ratings, they would get really butthurt and all pissy when they lose a couple times, and then talk about demographics or whatever bullshit they like to go on and whatnot. But the highest average that both of these shows were really getting was either 700-something thousand at the time. They may have got 1 million here, too. And even separated nights right now. Are any of these shows really getting 1 million? Maybe a couple times or two, but I see them at least going to high 700,000s or maybe 800, 900,000. But 1 million right off the bat when both of these shows are separated. No, I don't see that happening at all. Okay, I honestly don't. Maybe in time a couple times, but it's not going to be no every week thing. And you look at the Monday Night Wars from back then, you can't even compare them. Back then, it was over 8, 9 million people watching, and wrestling was very mainstream popular at the time. Wrestling, even though we have many, many options nowadays when it comes to wrestling and several different shows, the viewership is not what it used to be. And even my co-host said it's not enough big stars and whatnot. He even looks at AEW as just an indie company with a big budget. I said about that at NXT at one point. It's PWG on a higher budget, okay? And let's remember, NXT is developmental also, okay? It's a developmental program. So, NXT is still great, but it is, developmental. Let's remember that, okay? So at the end of the day, it's a business decision why NXT had to move, okay, to Tuesday nights. It's not because of who got beat. It's a business. The supermarkets are just going to sit there and believe that we won the war. We won the war. It's not like you went 83 weeks or anything, okay? It's not. And it's not like these shows were cracking over that millions and millions of people. All right, so we'll see what happens in the future of all this. But other than that, be ready for TakeOver next week because that's going to be big. All right, Stand and Deliver next week. Night 1 USA, Night 2 Peacock, which I don't even know if I want to get Peacock now at this point. Yeah, I'm just using to watch the pay-per-views, but good God, man, the censorship. That's some bullshit. Let's just fuck with the Attitude Era. ECW? What ECW? That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into a whole rant about that right now since everybody else has been going on it. But, man, I'm going to just tell everybody this. If you're going to watch the Attitude Era, you're going to watch ECW, anything uncensored, I suggest you go to YouTube or you go to Daily Motion. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. So, yeah, I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe. Hooded Knight 890. See you guys later. Peace.